Hey everybody, welcome back to another Creatives Talking video. It's the holiday season, so I hope everyone's doing really well this December. And guess what? 2020 is almost over. It's been rough. Anyway, the reason I wanted to do this video is have a really kind of a closer, intimate discussion, similar to some of the first videos I did where we talked about Quibi and what was happening with that. I feel as if the announcement yesterday that HBO Max has just announced that all the Warner main feature movies that are supposed to be coming out in 2021 are going to be simul released at the same time. Date and day release on HBO Max and the theatrical release. Now, what this has done is, one, it made the internet explode.
Despite patrolling by city and state police, millions of dollars in property damage is done. Because
that's what we do. But more importantly, it is a very aggressive move. Now, a lot of people are taking several very, very interesting approaches toward this entire scenario. The very first is, oh my God, it's the end of theaters. Well, look, the bottom line is, the theater going experience is changing. Now, movies and theater going and whatnot have survived the initial phase of the internet and piracy and everything else that the music industry was terrified of and ultimately had to deal with. The difference is that now the film industry is having to face very similar challenges. Now, these are challenges that nobody could have prepared for and challenges that nobody did prepare for. So as a result, as the pandemic happened in early March, suddenly you found that the entire entertainment industry was like,
despite patrolling by city and state police, millions of dollars in property damage is done.
What's going on? I don't know what to do. I'm freaking out. And at the end of the day, everything grows, everything changes. I mean, if there's anything that stays the same, is that everything changes. So one of the things that I think is going to eventually happen is the theater going experience is eventually going to become a lot like Broadway.
Everywhere throughout the civilized world, people know this street. Broadway, USA, the longest street in the world.
Which is, you're gonna have major event, tentpole style stuff. Now what you're gonna see is your movie ticket prices, believe it or not, are probably gonna skyrocket.
Man, you see how high the prices for movies went? No, I watch everything on HBO Max.
So one, theaters are going to become much more limited. They're not going to be as prevalent as they are right now. And what you're going to find is the event theatrical type releases are ultimately going to be it's going to be more of an event, and it's going to have, the theatrical window is going to open much wider. But Jay, you just got finished talking about HBO Max and they're going to be doing date and day and everything else. Okay, true. First off, let's talk about HBO. Let's talk about the big pink elephant in the room. HBO Max, though it has, in my opinion, the ability to become one of the big three, what's ultimately happening is that they need subscribers. They need to grow and plant themselves firmly in their place as being a streaming service that you want to go to. So what is the fastest way to do that? Well, first off, they have a slew of films that were slated to release this year and some for next year. So they've moved and doubled up and really have filled up their dance card, if you will, in the 2021 year. They need more subscribers. So the fastest way to do that, especially when the big mouse is sitting here saying,
"What is thy bidding, my master?"
You have to pay extra for premium VOD.
HBO Max is like, do we though? And then they're like, well, the fastest way is to get subscribers. Bam! So they're purposely setting themselves up for a financial windfall, which is wonderful for their investors and really good for business in general. Now, what does that do for us, the movie-going experience people? Well, things are gonna change. There's gonna be some challenges, obviously. But at the end of the day, I don't think this is as permanent a situation as we all might think. This to me is a very much about HBO Max and the survival of that platform, and has nothing to do with Warner Brothers' commitment to the theater-going experience. Now, I think it will absolutely influence it, and anybody who says otherwise, well, they're just not thinking. HBO Max is doing it so that people will ultimately subscribe. So 2021 is going to be a good year for HBO Max, especially when they're coming out with all these other serialized programming and all the other things they're getting licenses for and whatnot. So, and as well as the DC items and stuff that's coming out. I know Titans has another season coming out and whatnot, regardless of how you feel about that show. I don't necessarily know that this is like, oh no, it's another death knell. Look, the theater-going experience is going to change. That's a fact, and it's something you can't really think is not going to happen. But I firmly believe that this is more a move about HBO Max and the survival of that platform. But I don't believe they're going into that decision consciously saying, we want to kill the theater-going experience. So everybody who's trying to lump those things together, like with Disney's decision and some other things that have happened, and Universal's talks with different movie companies and whatnot, and the shortening of the theatrical window, I don't believe this has much to do with that as everybody wants to paint it out to be. Is it helping? No, absolutely not. So just kind of keep all that in mind when you guys are hearing people talking about, oh no, HBO Max, this and that. They have to survive, and they have shareholders they have to appeal to and keep everyone happy. So throughout this holiday season, enjoy your HBO Max. I know I'm going to. I can't wait to see Wonder Woman, and we'll definitely drop some thoughts on Wonder Woman and the storytelling possibilities. Please subscribe, like, share, subscribe this video. Check us out on social medias. We're going to be dropping some other videos, things talking about writing material, specifically having to do with Christmas videos and Christmas movies shortly. So stay tuned, keep a watch, Merry Christmas, and I'll see you guys soon.